I'm a bit of a mess today. I hope you don't mind. Are you coming? You want to sit with me? Okay. I can't find my makeup bag, so I'm a little less put together. I packed it and I took it with me when we were traveling for Thanksgiving. And I know it came home because I saw it come home. I don't know where it is. But we're not here to talk about that. I hope you have your cup of coffee or tea, beverage of choice, and we are going to talk about craft kits. Now, one thing that I love about crafting today versus crafting like 50 years ago is the wide availability of craft kits. And you may be thinking, why are we talking about these right now? You are a crochet/knit, mostly crochet, but like you kind of knit crochet channel. Right, but I consider myself a heritage crafter. And what I mean by heritage crafter is I have a long heritage or legacy of crafting that's been passed down to me. My mom was very crafty. She taught me to crochet, cross-stitch, quilt, and crochet is kind of where I settled in as the thing I love to do the most. And her grandmother did the same, passed on this heritage of craftsmanship to her, and it goes back generations on both sides of my family. And if you want to hear more about my family's history of crafting and perhaps the examples of their work, I have quite a bit. And I would love to share with you. But I want to talk about, as crafters, we want to share that heritage with the next generation. I have 4 children, and I want them to love crafting like I do. So one thing I do is we do craft kits every so often. And it's a great way, crafting kits are a great way to share that love of creating with the next generation without investing in the tools to the same extent as you would if you were just completely picking up a hobby or craft in its entirety. So you don't have to buy a whole weaving loom. You can just get this kit. You don't have to become a professional. You can just have this one $15, $20, $30 kit that has everything you need. You get experience with that craft, and then if you want to, you can move on to investing more time and more money into that if your child becomes passionate about it. I've blabbered. Long intro, short. We are going to look at 4 different craft kits today, and specifically what they teach the child. Like, are they teaching a skill? Is the end product satisfying? Is it a relationship building kit or a skill building kit? So relationship building kits are those ones where you get into the project and you realize your kid is not going to be able to do this by themselves, whether that's your child or your grandchild or your niece or your nephew, whatever. The kid is not going to be able to do this. It needs adult supervision. So is it I sit with my child and we build our relationship while we do this craft, or is this I'm teaching a skill to my child? There was another thing that was good. Oh, quality of materials. I hate getting a kit and then realizing that I have to supplement half the materials with something from my stash. You want to get a kit, especially if you're gifting to someone not in your home and they may not have the same stash of craft supplies as you do. You want a kit that's got everything you need and it's a good quality, so that I just saw my hands. Good quality. Good quality kit. You want a good quality kit so that it's easy to do. So we're going to look at 4 different kits and go from there. These 4 kits we're going to be looking at in order of my least favorite to my most favorite of these 4. If you guys like this, I can make it a series. I do craft kits with my kids fairly often, but I felt like with Christmas coming up, it's a great time. If you haven't already done your shopping, these are great gifts. So why are we talking about craft kits right now? Well, specifically because Christmas is right around the corner, and I want you to be able to buy a kit for someone, if that's something you're interested in. And I want you to make a good choice of kits, because there is truly nothing more frustrating than a badly put together craft kit. Your kid getting super excited about the craft kit, and then you trying to make it with your child, and really by the end of it, both of you are just like, what on earth? So that's what this kit is. I thought this was going to be a really cool craft kit. This is Make It Real, bringing creativity to life, knitted friends. Let's see if I say that again. So it's Make It Real, bringing creativity to life, knitted friends. This comes with a knitting machine, and it comes with all the things you need to make these little cute creatures that you can make into keychains or whatever. The knitting machine it's a knitting loom, not a knitting machine. So you wrap the yarn around it, and then you have a little latch hook that you lift the loops over the pegs and all this stuff. I haven't actually had my kid try to make this one yet. It's really hard to start the project. Casting on the stitches was extremely challenging for me. And I traditionally knit, and I have a machine, a hand cranked knitting machine that I can use. But I did find that following the instructions the way it was in the package was extremely difficult. I also found that the process of knitting up this little tube, because you knit a tube and then you stick the body in the tube, and then you attach all the pieces to the body, and it makes a little creature. But the process of knitting the tube was so slow. I worked on it for quite a while, maybe 20-30 minutes, and it took me that long just to cast on and do maybe 10 rows, but it was obnoxious. It was very challenging. I don't know if I will finish these kits. This particular one, I don't know that I will finish it with my kids. I don't know that I have the patience for it. It was not ideal. So the quality of the materials is like fine. It's fine. I didn't feel like they were poor quality materials. I didn't feel like there was anything exceptional about them either. It came with several different skeins of yarn. There was like a traditional worsted acrylic yarn, so you could reuse the loom, but again, you only have enough stuff to make these few creatures, the plastic pieces that go with it. I don't know what you would use the loom for after you complete the kit. So there's that. I did not find this. I didn't like this craft. I didn't find it satisfying. I just didn't. So here I am trying to use this kit that I really didn't enjoy. So you start with this piece of nylon string, and that's what you use to cast on your stitches. It was very slippery. I very much struggled with the casting on process. You can see also in the shot there's the selection of yarn that comes with it. The instructions were very detailed. They came in a wide variety of languages, but the craft itself was extremely difficult. I did not have fun trying to make it. I don't imagine my kids would have had fun trying to make it either. We still, as of this voiceover, which is, I'm recording like a week later, we still have not finished a single one of these little projects. So at this point, I finally got the loom working, as you see, and you have this little hook that you lift the loop over the peg, and then you pull the trigger and it turns the loom for you. So that is all this machine does, is it turns the loom for you. But I found that it was so hard. I kept dropping stitches, and because everything was so tight, there was no way to control the tension really. It was a struggle. The whole thing was a struggle. And if I can't figure out how to do it, I don't have much hope that my 7-year-old, I mean, she's clever, but this thing was just a struggle mess. It was hard. It was hard to do. Don't buy this for your kid. I'm sorry. That's all I've got for this one. I have another one that I actually really did like, and it was Pom-Pom Puppies Make Your Own Adorable Dogs. which that sounds really fun and easy. This is the one my kids were definitely the most excited about. They could not wait to dive into this craft and make these adorable Pom-Pom Puppies. I think the best part of this kit is definitely the book that it came with. It came with enough materials for you to make several of these puppies, I think 3, but it's all reusable stuff. Like, you can make puppies over and over and over again using the sort of thing you would normally have in your craft room, like some simple yarn, some felt, very inexpensive materials if you wanted to restock this. So the book, top-notch quality. Overall, we liked this kit, but it was very challenging for my kids to do. It was one that I ended up doing the majority of the work on, with them helping out in small ways. They were very excited about the finished product, which I completely forgot to get pictures of, mostly because the glue that came with this was very poor quality and they fell apart almost immediately, so I have to glue them back together with hot glue or a better fabric glue. So if you do this, keep in mind you'll probably do most of the work, and do use a better glue than comes with the kit. But overall, this was pretty good. Definitely more challenging, but a good kit. So I also got this Loopy's Penguin by Alex DIY. I really like this one. I feel like this is one that kids of most ages can handle. So I actually have it here with me. We haven't finished making it yet because we didn't get very far on it. I ran out of time before the holiday, before Thanksgiving, to get it done, but it's super easy. It comes with this little pillow and it has this mesh net over it, and it comes with 2 different colors of this lighter weight blanket yarn, and you just stuff the yarn in, and then you take a crochet hook and you pull it out in these little tufts. And then it also comes with everything you need to make the faces. I have the penguin one because the penguin one was cheaper on Amazon than the other one. I like this. I liked this one a lot because you have a satisfying end product. It builds a skill, like it helps them with the dexterity of holding a hook because you use a crochet hook. And so while they're not learning to crochet with this thing, they are learning to just get the feel of holding a hook and pulling a loop up through something with their crochet hook, and I really like that aspect of it. I found that the instructions for this were different on the back of the box than they were in the instruction packet. So on the instruction packet, it has you like put 1 strand of yarn in and then you pull loops up, and then you put another strand and then you pull loops up. Honestly, I think if you just stuff the yarn in and randomly pull loops up, it'll be much more satisfying. It'll go much more much more quickly. But I liked it overall, and I think it's a good one. It's very affordable. It comes with a bunch of different animals. I got the penguin because at the time it was the cheapest one on Amazon, and also none of my kids are attached to penguins. Like, I have one child that's like, lion things, anything that's a lion belongs to this one kid. Anything that's a mouse belongs to my littlest one, who's like Minnie Mouse obsessed. Anything that's, whatever. So I figured nobody has claimed penguins. So since I was only planning to buy 1 of these kits at this time, nobody would fight over the finished product and they could share it. But I liked it. So here you can see everything it comes with, and we started by winding these little hanks of blanket yarn into balls. I am now questioning if that was the best decision. Based on the way the instructions were written, I felt like this would be the easiest way to do it, but once I got into doing the actual project, I realized that the best way to do it is to just stuff the yarn in there any which way and pull loops up however it came, instead of having to do the 1 row at a time thing. So don't feel like you have to cake up your yarn like I did. This was just me being extra. I sat and did this project with both my 3-year-old and my 7-year-old. My 5-year-old hasn't had a chance to work on it yet, but he will. We still haven't finished it. But he thought it was a lot of fun. He needed help. The 3-year-old, he didn't quite have the muscle control, motor skills to manage it. My 7-year-old got the hang of it after a little bit. She did get frustrated with it a few times, but eventually she began to build up the skill and be able to do it herself. I think this is definitely a skill building project, so you would have to take some time teaching how to hook the loops and pull them through, but I think it is worthwhile and pretty satisfying in the end. This last kit is my favorite one. I felt like it was a good thing for relationship building. I felt in that you get to spend time with your child. I felt like it was a really good skill builder kit. And you could take that to different levels. Like, we actually had some friends over while we were doing this craft, and they have kids my kids' age. So we had 2 7-year-olds and 2 5-year-olds working on it. And our 3-year-olds were too young for it. It was not their level. But it is a beginning embroidery sewing stuffed animal craft kit. So I'm going to apologize for the bad lighting in this part of the video. It was after school. I did not realize how fast the sun was setting. But here's what it comes with this particular kit. It has separate instructions, and each little sewing kit is individually packaged, which I thought was fantastic if you were doing a big group, like a birthday party or something like that. Everybody would get their own kit with their own instructions. It comes with the embroidery floss. It came with like 4 or 5 different needles and 2 different rolls of the fluff, so that there was enough stuff. There was more than enough of everything in the kit, and all the materials were super high quality. We had some trouble with peeling the stickers, but we got it all done eventually. So you might have to help your kids with the peeling of the stickers. My 7-year-old is able to do these completely by herself. She does not need assistance. Whereas my 5-year-old did need a little help here and there, getting everything put where it goes and figuring it all out. But by the end of the craft, he was able to do them by himself. So he needed a little more teaching, but he's also quite a bit younger. She managed to knock these out of the park and has been just doing them on her own. To recap, we have 4 craft kits. The first one, the Make It Real, bringing creativity to life, knitting loom thing. It was so frustrating. I honestly haven't gotten up the courage to use it with my kids because it was so frustrating to do myself. I can't imagine trying to teach my kids, and I am a professional crafter. Been doing crafting for a very long time. If I cannot manage to make it, I'm not expecting my 7-year-old to pull it off. In third place, if we are placing them, we have the Pom-Pom Puppies. It's a fantastic idea. The materials included overall were pretty good, but you do want a different glue if you're going to make it. It is something that is better for an older kid who's into crafting, because you have to use sharp scissors for trimming up the pom-poms, and it can get very messy. And my kids were not coordinated enough to wrap the pom-poms either. If you have a better pom-pom maker, that would be ideal, because the pom-pom maker included is not great. I also think that they are fantastic if you want to make a bunch of them, even if you just make the doggy heads and turn them into keychains to have at craft fairs as a low-cost item to sort of bring people into your booth. I think that is really where it's at with that kit. You could use the stuff in the kit to make them, but also you can continue making them with stuff in your stash using the instruction booklet, which I think the value of the Pom-Pom Puppy kit is in the instruction booklet. Next, we had the Loopy's Penguin, which does come in other animals as well. I liked that one. I thought it was great. My kids enjoyed it. We haven't gotten very far on it because we got interrupted by Thanksgiving, but we will definitely be working on it more in the coming week, hopefully getting it finished up soon. And I like it because it teaches the coordination of holding a crochet hook, pulling the loop through other loops. It gives you that yarn hook tie-in. So if you're like really wanting to help someone feel interested in crocheting, that's a great one. And then finally, my favorite kit that we did this month was the Felt Creatures Stuffed Kit, because it taught skills, real life skills, sewing, mending. They loved it. They loved making it. They were able to do it. It was easy. The instructions were clear and simple, that my 5-year-old was able to manage it. He needed more help, but he finally by the end was able to do it all himself. So that one is definitely my top favorite. I'm really thankful that you stayed for this video, and I hope you're doing well. We are doing okay here as a family. We're gearing up for Christmas, making Christmas plans. Are we going to travel? I am 100% behind on all of the things you saw me say I was going to make. Once I finish recording this, I'm going to sit down and try to catch up on my Sophie's Universe blanket. I am so behind. It has been one thing after another the last few weeks. I've had a pinched nerve in my neck that's made it crocheting very painful, so I've been behind because of that. We traveled for the holidays. My kids got sick. Just normal change of weather sicknesses. It was nothing serious, but it just made everybody cranky. And then in my last video, I talked about our dog Riker and some of his issues, and at that time I had said that I felt like his quality of life was not that bad and we were going to continue to take care of him. However, I think more than anything I was lying to myself. My husband and I had some very serious talks about it, and I spent quite a bit of time praying about it. And I took him to the vet to talk to the vet, and he assured me that the right thing to do for our dog was to put him down. He said that the vet said he had never seen a dog have as severe recurring seizures as our dog did. He was on regular medication. We did everything we could. The vet said that normally most dogs who have this condition take a quarter of the amount of medication that our dog would take, and their seizures would be limited to maybe 1 a year. Whereas our dog generally has between 4 and 8 seizures a weekend, once or twice a month. And we knew he was suffering brain damage from them. They were too severe. He had 4 seizures this last weekend, and he couldn't remember who the family was anymore. He couldn't remember where he was. So we called the vet and scheduled him to be euthanized. And so that has, at this point, has taken place. So I was very sad and I cried a lot, but right now I mostly just feel relieved. I'm relieved that he is not hurting anymore. He was an abused dog that we brought into our home, and over the last few years he's experienced a lot of healing and happiness and comfort that he would have never experienced without our family. And we learned a lot from him about being kind and being gentle and being patient, and I appreciate the time that he spent with us. But it would not have been fair to ask him to continue to live his poor, tortured existence where he didn't even feel like playing most of the time anymore because his brain damage was too far gone. So if you think about it, say a prayer for my children as they are learning. They will have to learn to adjust to having 1 dog in the home instead of 2. I'm doing okay right now, and I know that it will be, as grief often is, fine some days and not fine others. So I hope you have a happy holiday season. I hope some of the information in this video was helpful. Next week I will be doing a video dedicated to one particular project that I'm making for Christmas. I have not decided which. It will either be the stuffed animals that I'm making with the faux fur yarn, or it will be Sophie's Universe. It depends on which one I'm closer to being finished with. So comment below which one you would like to see me talk about next week, and I will make sure to put lots of effort towards that particular project so you can learn about it. I'm going to finish my coffee and get back to work on crocheting. Have an amazing Christmas.